43F, whole life I always said I was never going to have children and I meant it. Then 10 years ago after a nasty divorce I hooked up with my, then, best friend and he kept pushing for us to have a child. After my sister had her first 2 children I had a very close relationship with them, still do, and even though I still didn't have any desire to have any of my own, I kinda thought well, I probably won't regret having them only not having them. So we tried for a baby and I fairly quickly got pregnant. During the whole pregnancy I was still not convinced it was a good idea, and when I gave birth it was not the joyous happy moment that everyone told me it would be. I mean I didn't hate him or anything, but I remember thinking that if someone was to take him away from me now, that would also be fine. I didn't feel that instant connection. We had our second child because I wanted to give the first a sibling. I'm an old parent. My children are now 3 and 5 and I regret having them every single day. I do love them, especially the oldest. But I resent being a parent. I don't like to play with them. I don't want to spend time with them. I don't want to go to sports with them. I don't want to plan for their birthday and so on and so forth. I think it sucks being so dependent on anyone and having them depend so much on me. I hate it. They're always yelling and loud and fighting over stuff and talking to me. Never leaving me alone. They take up all my time when I am not working. And when they're finally asleep I'm cleaning, cooking and preparing their stuff for the next day. Nothing is ever nice anymore. Vacation is not vacation, it's just stress and yelling and everyone being miserable. You can't go anywhere or do anything because these little animals will ruin it. You can't visit or see any people and have a real conversation because some child is always screaming or hurt themselves or took a dump. I try so hard every day, but I feel so bad for these poor children for having me as a parent. I don't wish them ill, I just wholeheartedly wish they weren't there. Just gone. If only I had a time machine. I try as best I can to not let it show how I feel. I tell them daily I love them and give them kisses. I try to be patient, try to be happy, try to smile and be nice and have fun with them. But I'm still sure they feel it. I get mad too quickly, I yell too much, I say mean things and have to apologize. I've probably already ruined them. I often think about leaving. Just take off out into the world and be gone. Their father would be able to care for them himself. I often think about suicide as well. I don't really want to die, but I am desperate to get out of this situation. I cannot talk to anyone about how I really feel, because people get mad at me and don't understand. I feel jealous of most people, who seem to feel that even though having children is hard work it's also totally worth it. I really don't feel it's worth it ever. I feel so alone and broken. I cannot help it, I just really hate having kids and I truly believe, I ruined my life and theirs by having them and now there's no going back. My wife died 5 months ago giving birth to our son. It absolutely nearly broke me. I'm still hanging on by a thread most days. I generally don't lie or sugarcoat things to the older kids besides things like Santa and the Tooth Fairy. They're 10, 6 and 2 now. But when I looked at their faces when I was telling them that their mother wasn't here anymore, I couldn't tell them the truth. I didn't tell them that she died giving birth to their baby brother because I knew they'd resent him and I don't want that. I just told them that she had died. Maybe I would have told them if we could afford therapy, but I can't. Just another thing to fail these kids on. I'm writing this on my lunch break at work because I felt like the truth would suffocate me. In a few hours I'll pick the kids up from school and daycare. 4 kids who lost their mother, 1 who didn't even get to be hugged by her, and me. And we'll get takeout because I'm too tired to cook today, and they'll sit and watch SpongeBob and laugh and I'll sit with the baby and think how oblivious they are. I feel guilty. My mother-in-law has been spending the past 2-3 years getting multiple degrees to become a reverend so she can begin preaching. The thing is, she is insanely verbally abusive to my fiancé. I have more than an hour worth of videos of her abusing her son and abusing me, including a ton of ableism, racism, fat phobia, etc. I could easily email these videos to every church she plans to preach. Email these to people who look up to her. I could post these videos online and destroy all the effort she's put in to be seen as some godly woman. And quite frankly I have the right mind to do so. After everything she's done to my fiancé. Everything she's done to me. Everything she's done in front of our 2-year-old daughter. She holds literally every single penny she spends on our daughter or her son over our head, no matter if we asked for her to spend it or not. It's more often than not that we didn't ask her. I might just upload these videos. Show the world how she really is. I live in Japan. My girlfriend is spending New Year's with a guy that she had claimed is 100% just a friend. I think that it may be true and she isn't lying to me. However, this situation has kind of already unfolded. I had something to do for work and I have the night shift tonight during New Year's. We live about an hour and a half away from each other, so it comes as no surprise when I can't be there. She can find friends to hang out with her on New Year's, of course. However, I'm thinking this is something that she doesn't understand somehow. I don't understand how she can't see the way I feel about this, because I would sure as hell not hang out with another woman other than her, and especially on a holiday. If she had a group of friends with her it would have been a different story, but it's literally just them two. She tried everything to give me reassurance. I have trust issues and I have been cheated on in this same manner before. Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to her for the weekend, but I'm really thinking about it. I want to talk to her about it and why I think it's inappropriate. She even offered to stay in for the night and not go out, considering the way I felt about it, but I told her it was okay because I didn't want her to just sit around on New Year's with nothing to do. I have to start work soon and she's at the bar with him. This is really uncomfortable for me. I think this is something I really have to think about and talk to her with. The culture is different between us, but I thought this would be a given. I even asked her how she would feel if I was out with another woman. And she said she would feel pretty nervous about it. I'm not nervous, I'm sick to my stomach. Oh Reddit, what wisdom can you grant me today? Title pretty much sums it up. I always knew my mother was neglectful as far back as I can remember, probably 4 years old is the clearest memory. She suffered from major depression, and all my grade school young childhood memories involve making my own lunch, doing my own laundry, heating up frozen dinners in the microwave, and begging my mom to play with me while she laid in her room for seemingly months on end. Dad was an abusive, absent workaholic, now dead. There were times that she showed interest in me, but they were sparing and didn't last. Anyway, I struggled with self-esteem, self-worth, etc. Growing up, I was an easy target for bullies and I got in a lot of trouble in my teen years acting out because I just despised myself. This led my mom to label me a problem and a bad child. Thank God I had an older sister in the house until I was 12 that helped me with basic needs. Anyway, fast forward, therapy, more therapy. I fixed my life and self-worth issues. I'm married to a wonderful husband and have the best toddler in the whole world. He is my life. I also have a really successful career, but I have days I just feel flat and still suffer from imposter syndrome, like I don't really deserve my good life now. My mom and I still speak and she has apologized to most of the neglect, but the other day I was on the phone with her and my toddler was saying mama, 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 and started crying at one point, so I said I needed to end the call to attend to his needs. She said, and I quote, "Just ignore him. That is what I did with you kids." People used to comment on how I would always ignore you kids crying out for help, but I couldn't take all the mom, so I just tuned you out and ignored you, and because of this you are independent and strong. Like WTTTTTTTTTF. My son is 14 months old. For context, he had a legitimate need. He was hungry, it turned out. I asked my mom if she did this when I was a toddler infant, and she said yes proudly. As a mother I cannot fathom any of this. So cruel. As a daughter I now understand why, despite all the work I have done on myself, I still feel empty and unlovable most of the time. It just hurt to hear that the neglect went back to when I was literally a helpless infant. I feel like it is scorched into the fabric of my being. I will be better, and I will do better for my son. Just had to get this off my chest. He abused me throughout my childhood religiously, leaving me with scars and permanent damage in some places, and getting his wife was a way in my mind to have some semblance of dominance over him, or those thoughts. I'm not even attracted to her, I'm gay, but the thought of being caught and seeing him hurt was what fueled the affair for me. I was just using her as a means to my goal. Well, I told him at a family get-together with my abusive family after 9 years of no contact after being disowned, and I feel bad because after he found out he still wanted to apologize to me for what had done to me and mend our relationship, and him being legitimately remorseful made me cry a little on the way home, like kid made a big mistake, and him being sad in that moment didn't give me the satisfaction it hoped for. I don't know, just tell me how it is or what you think about that. Well, that's all for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have an amazing day.